What would you do if someone you loved more than anything was about to face the hardest challenge of their life? Could you stand by them? Or would you be the one to offer them hope when the world turned its back? And what if that love was the kind the world didn't quite understand? Imagine this: an 85-year-old woman, alone in her last years, marrying a 25-year-old man. It sounds impossible, right? But you'll be amazed at what happened next, because their love changed everything. In the quietest corner of a small town, far away from the noise of the city, lived Evelyn Maddox. A woman of 85 years, she had spent most of her days in a gentle, rhythmic silence, tending to her garden, reading her favorite books, and reflecting on a life filled with quiet moments and sweet memories. But inside, there was always an aching longing for something deeper, something more. Evelyn had long outlived her family. Her husband had passed many years ago, and her children were now scattered around the country, living their own busy lives. It wasn't that she felt forgotten, but as the days went by, she couldn't help but feel invisible. People around her were moving forward with their lives, while she was left behind, her own life winding down slowly. That was until she met Daniel. Daniel was 25, and by all accounts, he should have been a stranger in her world. He wasn't a family member. He wasn't a staff member at the nursing home she had come to call home. He was just there. He sat on a bench one morning, eyes cast low, staring at the ground as if the weight of the world was pressing down on him. And Evelyn, with her sharp eye for people, saw him. She saw the loneliness in his posture, the sorrow hidden behind his youthful face. She did something she hadn't done in years. She spoke up. "Don't just sit there," she called gently. "Come over here and tell me why you look like the world is too much." Daniel looked up, startled, but a soft smile crept across his face. "I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean to be so obvious," he said, standing up and walking over to her. "What's your name?" she asked, eyes twinkling with a curiosity that would have made anyone feel seen. "Daniel," he replied, sitting down beside her. And that's how it all began. No grand gestures, just two souls drawn together by the quietest form of kindness, being noticed, being acknowledged. Over the next few weeks, Daniel began visiting Evelyn regularly. At first, he would come just to talk. Evelyn would sit on her porch, her wrinkled hands wrapped around a cup of tea, listening intently as Daniel opened up about his life. He'd lost his mother a year ago. He was struggling to get by, living out of his car and working odd jobs just to survive. But when Evelyn looked at him, she didn't see a homeless man. She saw someone who needed a family, a connection, a place to belong. She began offering him small acts of kindness, a warm meal, a place to sit and talk, sometimes a little bit of money if he was in need. Each time, Daniel refused at first, but Evelyn insisted. Slowly, their friendship blossomed into something much deeper than either could have expected. Daniel started bringing Evelyn little gifts, books, flowers, sometimes a piece of music he thought she would like. Every time she received something from him, Evelyn would marvel at how someone so young could care so deeply. It was something she hadn't experienced in years. Slowly, they became more than friends. They became confidants. One day, while sitting together in the garden, Evelyn turned to Daniel and said, "You remind me of my late husband. He always had a way of making me feel special, even when the world didn't care." "I haven't felt that way in so long." Daniel's eyes softened. "I'm glad I can make you feel that way. But I don't think it's about age or anything like that. It's about how you treat people." Evelyn smiled, but there was something deeper in her gaze. She had come to realize that despite their age difference, despite everything the world might say about them, what they shared was real. And in a world that often overlooked her, Daniel had brought her something priceless: connection. Then came the day that changed everything. Evelyn, who had been growing weaker over the past few months, was diagnosed with terminal cancer. The news was devastating, but Evelyn took it in stride. She wasn't afraid of death. She was at peace with her life. But what broke her heart was the idea of dying without having left anything behind, without being remembered. And then Daniel did something that would forever change both their lives. "I want to marry you," he said, one afternoon, as Evelyn sat in her hospital room. His voice was steady, his gaze never leaving hers. I know this isn't the usual way things go, but I've never met anyone who understands me like you do. I've never had someone take care of me the way you have. And I need you, Evelyn. I need you in my life forever." Evelyn's eyes welled up with tears. "But Daniel, I'm so much older than you. You deserve someone who can give you a full life." "No," Daniel replied firmly. "I want you. And if this life isn't long enough, I'll cherish every single moment we have. I'll make sure you never feel alone again." Evelyn, touched by his sincerity, agreed. They were married in a small, intimate ceremony in the hospital chapel. The doctors and nurses were there. Some of her distant relatives arrived, surprised and unsure of what to think. But it didn't matter. They had each other. The world may not have understood their union, but it didn't matter. What happened next wasn't about public opinion, it was about kindness. It was about love that defied the odds. Despite her declining health, Evelyn's last few months were filled with more joy than she'd ever known. Daniel stayed by her side, never leaving her for a moment. He took care of her, not out of obligation, but out of pure, selfless love. Together, they lived each day as if it was their last, laughing, sharing stories, and making memories. But then, an unexpected twist. One day, as they sat in the garden, Evelyn held Daniel's hand tightly and whispered, "I've never felt so loved," and with that, she passed peacefully in her sleep that night. But Evelyn left behind something beautiful, an incredible love that showed the world that kindness, no matter how unexpected, was the most powerful thing in the world. After Evelyn's passing, Daniel was devastated, but he never forgot the promise he made to her. He honored her memory every day by continuing to live with the same kindness she had taught him. He started a foundation in her name, helping other elderly people who were lonely or struggling, giving them the same care and love that Evelyn had given him. And the world, though skeptical at first, began to take notice. They saw that sometimes love doesn't come in the packages you expect. It comes when you least expect it, and it changes everything. Can you imagine how Daniel must have felt, finding such profound love at the most unexpected time in his life? What if we could all be a little more like Evelyn and Daniel, offering kindness, even when the world doesn't seem to care? I challenge you, right now, to think about how you can be that person in someone's life. Share your story of kindness with us in the comments below. Let's spread this love together. If you found inspiration in their story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to hear more heartwarming tales, check out our next video, because there's always someone who needs a little kindness.